Have you ever had a friend that had diabetes or know someone that does? I'm sure you have, since according to the Centers of Disease and Control and Prevention, over 25.8 million people in the United States are currently living with this disease. The cause of diabetes, dictates which type of diabetes a person has, but both types produce the same end result, which is an increase in blood sugar, similar signs and symptoms, and similar treatment options. This topic is important to you because it can affect your life or the life of the people that you love in a very drastic way. Growing up, I've had family or friends that either had diabetes or known people that do, and my grandpa was one of them. When he was diagnosed with lung cancer, his struggle with diabetes and lung cancer it became so much worse. The cancer was eating his insulin faster than his body could produce it. So it was always really hard for him to try and keep that blood sugar at, the targeted rate. And he just couldn't keep food down, and he didn't want to eat. So it was just really, really difficult for him to, get the nutrients in him so that his body could produce what he needed. And the cancer was just eating it way too fast. And one day, he passed out due to this. And if the ambulance wouldn't have gotten there when they did, he probably would have went into a coma. And this was one of, by far, the most scariest moments of my life. And that's why I feel like it's so important for people to be aware of this disease. Today, I will tell you first about the causes of diabetes, second, the signs and symptoms, and third, the available treatment options. I will begin by telling you the causes. According to the National Diabetes Information Clearinghouse, diabetes is a complex group of diseases which are caused by a variety of causes. People that have diabetes essentially have high blood sugar. Diabetes occurs when the metabolism doesn't digest food for energy properly, causing the body not to be able to make enough insulin, which is the hormone responsible for breaking down the sugars in your body and in your blood so that they can be used. There are two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 diabetes is caused by the complete lack of insulin due to the destruction of beta cells in the pancreas. The beta cells normally are responsible for producing insulin and are attacking and destroying by the body's immune system as a result of an autoimmune disease. This form of diabetes usually occurs in children and young adults. Type 2 diabetes is caused by a combination of factors, which includes obesity and a lack of regular exercise. With this type of diabetes, the body still produces insulin, but the body's cells have built up a resistance to this insulin. So people with type 2 diabetes have high levels of insulin, but they also have high blood sugar because their body has become resistant to the effects of insulin. Type 2 diabetes is most common in the middle age and older people who are generally overweight or obese. Next, I will share with you the signs and symptoms of diabetes. The signs and symptoms of diabetes depends on which type you have and how elevated your blood sugar is. The signs of type 2 diabetes, which is the resistance to insulin, usually do not occur very fast compared to type 1 because you've lost so much insulin in type 1. Some signs and symptoms are increased thirst, frequent urination, unexplained weight loss, fatigue, blurred vision, slowed healing sores, and high blood pressure, and also frequent infections, and this is all according to the Mayo Clinic. Finally, let's go over the options for diabetes, the treatment options. According to the Mayo Clinic, the most effective way to treat diabetes is to take control and monitor your blood sugar. Checking and recording your blood sugar levels can be done several times a week, multiple times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, depending on the treatment plan given to you by your physician. Following through with careful monitoring of your blood sugar is the only way that you can control it and to make sure that your levels remain in that specific targeted range that it needs to be. Specifically for type 1, treatment involves insulin injections and insulin pumps. It is also important for type 1 diabetics to have frequent carbohydrate counting because carbohydrates raise your blood sugar levels. In regards to type 2 diabetes, treatment primarily involves monitoring of your blood sugar along with medications such as insulin or a mixture of the two, which is, since this type of diabetes is often easier to control. In conclusion, the cause of diabetes dictates which type of diabetes a patient is diagnosed with, but both types produce the same end result, which is an increase in blood sugar, similar signs and symptoms, and similar treatment options. You now know the causes of type 1 and type 2, the signs and symptoms, and the treatment options available. It has been my pleasure to explain to you the information today, and I hope that you have learned a lot about diabetes and that you're more aware of how to take control and monitor this disease.